Good morning, children. Today we will continue yesterday's chapter of separation of substances. So I was discussing about three processes. One is sedimentation, decantation, and filtration. Okay. So what is sedimentation? When the heavier component in a mixture settles after water is added to it, this process is called sedimentation. So when the heavier component in a mixture settles. The heavier component of a mixture in a mixture settles after adding water. So when you add water to any substance, then the heavier particles settles down. This process is called sedimentation. Sedimentation. Okay. Again, so example you can take dust and water. Okay. When the water along dust is removed, suppose if you remove I told, then afterwards what you will do? You will remove the water outside, only dust remains. So this process is called sedimentation. Well, let us find a few other mixtures that can be separated through sedimentation and decantation. So we will discuss one or two examples of separation of this. Okay. The same principle is used for separating mixture of two liquids that do not mix with each other. Liquids which do not mix with each other. If you want to separate these mixtures, for example, oil and water. Okay. So this oil and water also can be separated by using this method. If mixture of such liquid is allowed to stand for some time. So what you will do here, if you allow this mixture should be allowed to stand for some time. So here what happens? They form two separate layers. You know very well. Two separate layers are formed. One is oil. Two separate layers are formed. Okay. The component that forms the top layer can be then separated by decantation. So the one which is at the top can be separated by, which is at the top, it will be separated by a process called decantation. Okay. So sedimentation is used to separate the mixtures like water and dust. Sawdust you can take, sawdust, which comes from the wood. Okay. Let us again consider the mixture of two solid and liquid. So one is sawdust and water, which we separated by sedimentation. Oil and water, which are not mixing with each other, they are separated by decantation. Okay. Again, one more, we take the example of mixture of solid and liquid. Mixture of solid and liquid. Okay. So example is after preparing tea. After preparing tea here, okay. What do you do to remove the tea leaves? So what you will do to remove the tea leaves? What we use strainer to remove tea leaves. We use what? We use strainer to remove the tea leaves. Tea leaves. Tea leaves. Or we try one more method. So we'll try with decantation. Instead of strainer, we will try decantation. It helps a little. But if we use decantation, it helps a little. Why? Because there may be some leaves. See, it helps. But do you still get a few leaves in your tea? Again, if you use decantation method to separate tea leaves and tea, still some small tea leaves are found with the tea. Okay. Now pour the tea through a strainer. So instead of this, again we try with a strainer and try to do it. So did all the tea leaves remain in the strainer? So all the tea leaves remained in the where? Strainer. So this process is called filtration. This process is called filtration. So which method of separating tea leaves from prepared tea is better? So whether decantation is better or filtration is better to separate tea leaves from tea? So best method is filtration. Okay. Let us consider the example of water that we use. I will take the example of water which we use. Okay. Do all of us at all times get safe water to drink? So do we get all of us the same water to drink? Same quantity of water, quality of water? Sometimes water supplied through the taps may be muddy. So when water is supplied through the taps, the tap water may be muddy. The water collected from the ponds or rivers may also be muddy. So water which you collect from the rivers or ponds may also be muddy. Okay. Especially from after rain, especially after rains, the water will be muddy. Okay. Let us see if we can use some method of separation of to remove insoluble impurity like soil from water. So this soil is insoluble impurity in the water. So this soil will act as impurity which is not good for health also in the water. Okay. So what do you do here? You try to collect some muddy water from a pond or river. First what do you? Collect water from river or pond. If it is not available, mix some soil to water in a glass. Instead of that, you can use mix soil to water of a glass. You mix it. Let it stand for half an hour. You make it to stand for half an hour. Observe the water carefully and note your observation. Just to check, you observe it, what changes have taken place. Does some soil settle at the bottom of water? If any little quantity of water settle at the bottom of water, and why it settled down, what will you call this process? If it settled down, what will you call this process? Okay. Now slightly tilt the glass without disturbing the water. Just to tilt the glass without disturbing the water. Let the water from the top flow into another glass. Take the water and flow, make the water to flow into other glasses. Okay. What will you call this process? So what do you call this process? So this process is the water in the second glass still muddy or brown in color. So in the water in the second glass may be still muddy and brown. So this process again I told you is called decantation and sedimentation. Okay. Let us try now filter it. Now filter it. Did the tea strainer work? If you take filter and try to remove it, after filtering also, still mud particles will mix with the water, will be there with water. Let us try filtering the water through piece of cloth. You take piece of cloth. One more simple piece of cloth you take. Try to filter. Small holes or pores remain in between the woven threads. These pores in a cloth can be used as a filter. So there are small holes or pores to the cloth that will remain in between the threads. If these are threads like this. Okay. And these are woven like this. These are woven. Okay. So very small pieces of threads are there, that is woven there. So in between these the water will pass away. And if the water is still muddy, impurities can be served by a filter. Again, still the water is muddy means you can go for method of filtration that has even smaller pores. The Steiner filtration method can be used to remove the still very minute particles of mud. So what in that case, a filter paper is one such filter that has very fine pores in it. So instead of this, what we are using, we can use filter paper to remove the mud particles from the water. Okay. In your textbook it is given, you can check page number 40. So figure 5.9 shows the steps involved in using filter paper. So first there is a filter paper, then fold it 2 ways, then make a filter leg, then make a shape of filter and fix to the stand and take water and pour from the filter paper and it will pass through the filter paper and particles will not remain. See, a filter paper folded in the form of a cone is fixed onto a funnel. Onto a funnel. A filter paper folded in the form of a cone is fixed onto a funnel. It is fixed to a funnel. The mixture is then poured onto the filter paper. When we'll pour the mixture to the filter paper. Solid particles in the mixture do not pass through it and remain on the filter paper. So in the filter paper, solid particles remain on the filter paper. They will not get filtered. Only the water passes through the filter paper. Okay. So this is how we use this method. See, fruit and vegetable juices are usually filtered before drinking to separate. So what we do? We filter the fruit and vegetable juices before consuming it. Okay. To separate the seeds and solid particles of pulp. So in these fruits and vegetables there are seeds and pulps. The pulp is nothing, it is solid particles of pulp. So solid particles of seeds and pulp are removed. The method of filtration is also used in the process of preparing cottage cheese. So this filtration method is also used to prepare cheese. It's actually called cottage cheese or paneer. Cottage cheese or paneer, which you can prepare in your home also. You might have seen that for making paneer, a few drops. What we do to make paneer? What is required? A few drops of lemon juice. Few drops of lemon juice is added to milk. Added to milk as it boils. When the milk is little boiling slowly, they will add the 2 to 3 drops of lemon juice. This gives a mixture of particles of solid paneer and liquid. So this becomes solid paneer and liquid. The paneer is then separated by filtering the mixture through a fine cloth. So this paneer is kept sent in the cotton cloth, covered it, and it is what? Squeezed it. After filtering it is squeezed, or by using strainer also it is removed. And after using strainer also, still water is remaining. So that water is removed by a process called or squeezing. Just you squeeze it and you keep for a while, and you can make, after some time you can make small pieces of paneer. Thank you.